What is up, everybody? I am Ant, and I am joined by my good friend and longtime co-host.
Carlos Caribbean Cool.
Yes, sir. I think I might change my name. I'm going through a phase where I like the Italianese, but I
You've
also
had it forever.
I kind of like the Don too a little bit. I think Clash at the Clash.
Are you a fan of the guy from NXT, the Italian stallion guy?
Well, that's sort of the play on. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go for. Tony D'Angelo. I'm trying to do the whole Don gimmick thing.
He's such an asshole, I swear.
Yeah, well, Heat Wave, you'll join me for that. We'll do a Heat Wave recap. That was a NXT special that premiered yesterday on Tuesday. But
I'm surprised it wasn't like on a weekend pay-per-view or something. Like it was randomly just like on a Tuesday.
it was really good. I discovered that Shawn Michaels makes claims that he has been running this new NXT, and that a lot of people say it's Vince McMahon, but it's not. It's been him. He's like, so.
Did you hear the Paul Heyman like promo? Like, what do you think's up with that?
I don't know. We'll save that for Heat Wave, but I do think that Paul.
You did hear that though, right? You were on what I was.
Well, I know that Heat Wave is a former ECW pay-per-view, so I think
maybe that's
they were alluding to that kind of, but I like it because again, Attitude Era, 2 years represent that series is out. But yeah,
we're not here for that. We're not here for that today, guys. We're here to recap Monday night.
But it was a really good Raw from August 15th, live in the nation capital of Washington, D.C. What did you think of the opening package? And was this, we do get pyro usually, right? But it was the first time.
Yeah, you don't really get pyro. That's one thing wait, do we usually get pyro? I don't remember.
I don't remember. That's what I'm saying. So I wasn't sure. It doesn't feel like it, but it felt like a big deal.
They usually start off with like that little robot that they have like flying around with like the thing, but like the pyro was like brought me back like, oh shit, there's pyro. Yeah, I was like, oh shit. So if I was surprised by it, no, they haven't been doing pyro the past couple of weeks. I was surprised. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I thought, I've gotten so used maybe to not seeing it that maybe we're just dreaming of it. But dreaming of things, the Judgment Day come out to the ring, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor. And Rhea grabs the mic. And by the way, can I just say something? I was talking to my fiance Dory about this earlier. And I don't mean this in any harm. I love Rhea Ripley. I think she's an attractive lady. But when I see her, I just see a man. Like there's nothing feminine about her. Like I mean in the sense of like I don't find her attractive. Like I think she's a great wrestler, but a lot of the fans that I see on Facebook, the memes, they really find her attractive and think she's like a really sexy dominatrix boss.
I mean, she is. What do you mean?
I don't
know. She's like the bad bitch, but she's like she can like hold her own, but
do you find her attractive? Like, would you want to have sex with Rhea Ripley right now? Would you have sex with her?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. See, I wouldn't because I just don't find. I think she looks. It reminds me of a man. She has a very there's not I'm into, for me, my type
the hair.
It's the short hair, it's the constant wearing of the tuxedos. It's like,
no, that's their gift though. Like wearing the suit.
I know, but her, like if you go back to the Hall of Fame, every red carpet, she's not wearing no dresses, and that's her. That's fine. She's a manly woman. Like she likes to be that sort of.
And she's also with a guy. I mean, she's with Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, she's with, but that's the other funny part too. That was the whole. It's funny because the whole conversation was Dory and I were saying that we think that Triple H has a thing for women that are more like masculine looking, like China.
I mean, exactly, like China. Like he probably has a thing for that. I don't know.
But for me,
like Bianca and her both have similar physiques.
Yeah, but Bianca is more feminine though. Bianca comes out with the high heels and
don't be judging Rhea Ripley because of like the way she's dressed.
I'm just saying I wouldn't want to have sex with her. I would want to have sex with Bianca Belair. I just don't find myself attracted to Ripley.
This is wrestling.
But I'm sorry. I just am, I can't help myself. It's like when I see like
sometimes to keep your thoughts to yourself. I don't.
I just think that my opinion. Well, I think look at all these fans. They're like, oh, let me eat her pussy. Oh, like you have to look at everything. Oh, mommy. Like they talk about it. Like my take on it is I think that she is.
I saw one where they split. They went when she had Dominik in the scissor lock.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I wish that was me.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if it was like a Sasha Banks or like I would get it. I'd say yes, that's me. Sign me up. But like
look at girls like Lita and stuff. And I mean, like I don't know.
I've always been into like that's the thing. Like my taste is the Litas, the Trishas, the Stacy, the Tori.
Yeah, no, Lita and Rhea Ripley are very similar.
Yeah, but Lita would come out wearing like the boy jeans, the thong hanging out, and she had the long hair and the tattoos, and she would compete in bra and panties. Rhea Ripley is not going to compete in a bra and panties match.
I'm not gonna.
Listen, when her hair is longer, she's attractive.
I'm not judging you.
But
I'm not gonna judge you.
I was like, eh. But when it was long,
there was a time though that she did have long hair, but like then they started saying that she looked like Charlotte Flair, so like she cut it.
Yeah, and then she got the new gimmick of but Carlos, even when she had the new
when she was in NXT, she had the same hair, style.
But it was just the way she presents. I feel like right now the presentation of her character is very sexualized. I'm your poppy now, Dom. Like it's like it's a play on the fact that everyone finds her attractive. But my thought is I don't find her attractive. Like it would be in my take. Like Tiffany Stratton, you've mentioned, is someone that is very like, oh look at me, like I can see people fawning over her. Amanda.
Oh yeah, no, she's gorgeous.
I can see that, you know what I'm saying? But like with her, like her gimmick is weird to me because she looks like Halloween.
No, but this isn't about like beauty contests. This is wrestling, This is not like oh, I should be looking good for the men, this, that. Like if fans find it okay, but like this is wrestling. This isn't like we're not in 2009, 2010, 2008 when we're like worrying about how they look, like makeup and all that freaking stuff.
But
she kind of breaks the mold for a lot of these girls these days, like think about Tiffany Stratton. She reminds me straight up from like 2009, 2008 days, like bra and panty matches. Rhea Ripley, she's breaking the mold. She's different. And I like that.
But exactly, she's not going to be on Playboy. And so for the fans to sexualize her in that way and for her to continue adding to it, it just confuses me. Because you're right.
What's so wrong with that though?
Because it just doesn't fit her at all. She's not the type of person that would do that, I don't think. She likes the rock music. She likes she just doesn't.
Exactly. So what's so wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just not attracted to it. And I think that they should focus more on her in-ring ability other than I'm your the whole dominatrix, because there's nothing like China didn't do any of that shit. And China was in D-Generation X and they were over the top.
I mean, they have to use Rhea Ripley part of the group somehow, some way.
I get
She's
it.
like the one who gets to they know damn well that none of the guys none of the guys are gonna put their hands on her. So like she gets advantage of them, takes advantage.
I know, but it's just I don't know. My own opinion. I just think there's really nothing for that to be her character is, oh, I'm your puppy, Dominik. You want to get between my legs. It's like, yeah. Not for nothing too, you have a husband too. Like I think that's a little disrespectful to Buddy Matthews too. Like I wouldn't want my wife out there talking about how, oh yeah.
I mean, look at Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy was fucking making out with the Leah on SmackDown.
Yeah, but he wasn't married to anybody.
No, but it's still there though.
I guess what my point is that when you are with somebody at the time of doing something, like it's also different if it's an actual storyline. That's what I think my problem is with Ray right now. I don't get her. I'm confused by her. Is she
That's a podcaster into a friggin' Rhea Ripley thing.
Well, no, because I'm interested by her because I don't understand her. Is she supposed to be a dominant, I'm going to just annihilate everybody? Or is she supposed to be a dominant plus also sex kitten that everyone's making her out to be? Because I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But if you go on these Facebook groups, they are want to hook up with her very badly. And I think that there comes a point.
These are just wrestling fans. They know damn well they're not gonna be able to. I mean, Rhea Ripley's a fucking
just
top
getting
star.
a little weird for me. Like they're becoming a little upset. And I think that the fact that she's kind of like playing into it makes me nervous for her because it's becoming weird. These people out here are like saying some really strange things. But I do listen. I respect Rhea Ripley. Every match she's had with fucking Charlotte Flair, phenomenal. She's an amazing wrestler, one of the better wrestlers in the division, and I did find her attractive in NXT. I'm just talking about her looks now because it seems like that's only what
she hasn't really changed much though.
Not really, but she cut her hair shorter. And she now all she wears is tuxedos, and I know that that's the gimmick. But for me, I look at
only thing that I found weird about her was when they had her wearing those pink pants, those pink shorts that she was wearing that color a couple times. That's what I found weird. Like she's not like the type to like wear that type of stuff. Like she's more like the wrestling tights, the long ones, you know. And like
if she came out like a China, where like if you look at China would wear like, remember her old style Ripley when she come out, she had the chains and she'd have all that. Like that's more dominatrix looking to me than what she's presenting now. She's just dressing up like a guy now. So
she's like adding a little bit of both. It's not bad. Like try different things. A little bit of both.
Know, but I just feel like if you're gonna like not you, but there's a lot of people that shit on Bayley and say that she's not attractive. If you're gonna shit on Bayley, then why? Like, there's no way you honestly think that Rhea Ripley is attractive. No way. That's just my opinion. But
this isn't about attractiveness, though.
I know her character is being, and also if you notice, Carlos, things are starting to turn. Look at the Miz. His whole gimmick now is my balls are big. Like it's starting to become a little bit more risque, is what I'm saying, and I'm just questioning. My own opinion is why is this the new attract? That's all I'm wondering. Why is this so attractive to people? Let me know in the comments.
I think you're just worrying more about the looks and like the more.
I know, because I just feel like I just get, for me, like Maryse.
There was a time that I did care about, like, but that was like 2009, 2010. Now it's like a whole different game where it's like it's mainly they focus on wrestling, not really how they look or anything. I know all these things, but like I think
when
that
they go back,
dressing in the suits and stuff is like that fits her character because she's a part of the Judgment Day. They all like wear similar.
Yeah, but she even did that shit before Judgment Day, like Hall of Fame. When she has the opportunity to wear her own outfits, she chooses to dress manly. That's her style, and that's cool. Because my what I'm questioning is, this is my question. This is gonna sound fucked up. I'm just straight up asking, as a guy, in my opinion, if you are looking at Rhea Ripley's style, you find men attractive because she's very masculine and she dresses very manly. And if you think that is so sexy, then I'm just wondering, that's just my own question, is why is this so attractive to people? That's just all I'm wondering. And maybe someone can tell me. Let me know what is.
I guess in the next couple weeks, I'll just start answering your questions. But like, see, I don't see any problem with that because I've been watching Rhea for a while, and she's like always dressed similarly like that.
Yeah, for me, I just wish. Here's my problem.
Like, look at the thing that she did with Liv Morgan. Like you would see, like when she was teaming with Liv Morgan, you see Liv Morgan slapping her ass or or like the way that they would like,
and the way she would pin the people, and the way she would like, and she would
do more. See, Rhea's always had that same like kind of character. Why are you getting mad at it now?
Because because that's what I'm saying. I don't get, even back then, that character. I've always wondered why she did that, because in my eyes, her character wasn't into. Like when she started doing the thing where she was doing the pin and she was almost like pretty much humping the people and like licking and doing the tongue sticking out and all. I didn't get that, because I still don't understand how that's like, her character is a dominant beast. So what is that supposed to imply? That she is a freak too? Like, I don't, that's just what I'm saying. I don't understand where they're trying to go with her. I don't get her, is what I guess I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say a lot of different things. I just don't, and I think we will understand her, but it's just weird to me that she's the only person doing it right now, when you have people like Scarlett and you have the Mandy Roses, and they're not doing that. So that's why I don't understand why Rhea is dead. I don't know. That's just, but listen, let me know, and I do respect Rhea. I think she's attractive. Listen, if Rhea maybe had longer hair, even when she came to NXT UK and it was short, but it wasn't super duper short, I just can't really look at her and say, because it's almost like
I personally don't think it should be based on attractiveness. I think like it doesn't. I don't know.
But that's my whole point to her, though, is then don't do a pinfall where it's you're straddling the lady or humping her and you have your.
That's just her character, how it is, though. Kind of.
But that's promoting her sexuality and attractiveness. If you're doing that, what do you think guys are going to do? You think guys are going to turn away? No, every guy that saw that is going to be like, oh, damn, I wish I was that girl. That's what they're saying to her. And I'm just saying, for me, in my eyes, I guess my take on is I've always been the person where like I don't sleep with people just for the thought of sex. Like there has to be reasons for me to have sex with you. You have to be nice, attractive, funny. Like I've never been the person who just sleep with me. I've never done one night stand shit. I've always. So for me, when guys freak out and they're like, oh my God, I wish that was me, I take it more serious, because for me to have sex with the girl, there has to be something there. Like I don't take sex lightly. So when all of these guys are like, oh my God, I really want, I'm like, well, what is it about her that's so worthy of, you get what I'm saying? I guess that's what it is. For me, I don't really have sex with a girl unless I'm really, really super into her. And I don't understand how people could just be like, oh my God, I really wish that was me. After it's just like, how? Like, she just fucking has her tongue sticking out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, Carlos. I need to go to therapy.
When did this podcast turn into like a sex talk?
I don't know, because I'm just seeing this everywhere, and it was on my mind. I just watched the DX episode of Legends. There's a lot of sexual content there, Carlos. I'm sorry. This is why you're here. Segue me out of this, please.
Like there was a time when I thought like it was only about like how they look and stuff, but then like they started that whole like revolution and stuff, and I saw what they're actually capable of. I don't really look at it like that anymore. Like,
I know.
They have their own. They each have their own characters. They need someone like a Rhea Ripley. Like they can't have everyone. They can't just have everyone freaking like long hair. Like all like looking good. They have to have someone.
Question for you. Honest question, and then we'll move on from this topic. Sasha Banks, right? You respect her as a wrestler 110%.
I also find her attractive.
But that's my question. So you kind of, even if you don't mean to, we all do it. We all can't help ourselves. We might find someone attractive. So my question is not to you, but to the guys out there.
But they always need someone like a Rhea Ripley around. Like that's not in the she doesn't look like the mold of like a regular like woman wrestler, but like she's fucking dominant as fuck.
I can respect that. I can respect that thought, because there are many people that like different things.
Breaks the mold for people who don't look like a regular woman wrestler. Like let's say someone like I'm not gonna say Molly Holly, because like Molly Holly had like similar hair from her, but like
I love how I'm poor Carlos is getting roped into this. Just let Carlos, don't just let me fail. I don't want you to get
You're kind of breaking my brain right now. Like I don't know. Like you're looking more like oh you should look more attractive, but
here's
then
the
like
thing. There might be someone in Kalamazoo who finds Rhea Ripley attractive. If she is your type, more power to you.
oh
She is a kind woman, probably.
let me throw this in there. So like at WrestleMania, during the pre-show, there was this little 11-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
She was dressed exactly like Rhea Ripley. She had the short hair. She had like the whole like jacket on and everything. Like she motivates females. Like not everyone that's gonna look like a regular, like a Sasha Banks or a Naomi or a freaking Mandy Rose or none of that. There's also women that are like tomboyish that I don't know.
Carlos does not want to say it. Tomboys that use their sexual appeal.
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, uncomfortable. Listen, I also get uncomfortable around it too because Dory's in the room with me. Like it's a little uncomfortable. Like you mentioned it. Like we're in a different time. Like they're not going to do the Brock. Like I wish they didn't do any of that.
Everyone's not going to look like Sasha Banks or Naomi or something.
But even if Sasha did that, like even when Sasha at the Royal Rumble, remember when she did the pose?
With
that
the split.
was attractive, but I was like, oh my god, like I looked over because Dory's right there. So like I've always just been a little uncomfortable because listen, maybe it's my upbringing. I've told you the story. When anytime the women would come out, I'd have to leave.
What do you do like every time there's a woman's match to cover your eyes?
Yeah, so let me tell you that quick story, and then we'll
stop, man.
And then we'll go to a break. This is a funny story.
Not that serious though.
Well, listen. So when I was little, listen to it's a funny story. When I was little,
God.
My dad but also it's a different time too. So when I'm little, for those listening who don't know, I was little, like I'd say little around like 2001 to like 2008, okay, because that's 2008 is when I started high school. So imagine like 2001, 2002, you have the hot lesbian action, you have the lingerie pillow fights, the bra panties, the all of that, and every Raw was very sexualized, even the whole Katie Vick storyline. And my dad was always like, first of all, very respectful of women. He didn't want me to just be a pervert and like, oh, let me fuck but also he also respected my mom, who would be recording the shows that we would go to. So like if there was like Carson, when we went to Madison Square Garden, if my mom knew we were there, she probably would have recorded it. So my dad would be like, if we were there, shit, I have to take Aunt like in the lobby because his mom's recording it. She's going to see the naked women and I'm going to get in trouble. So there was always this idea. My uncensored take on it is that we're in a different time. And even with the Miz, the gimmick with the balls, where I don't get where we're going. It's just, if we're going that way, perfect. But then let's go full frontal. That's what she said. We're gonna take a quick break, Carlos, and when we come back, we're gonna cover Raw and stop talking about poor Rhea Ripley. All right,
she's like bashing her. I hope she watches this.
I love Rhea. No, Rhea Ripley's the bomb. I just don't find
her. Come on, no, don't start with she's the bomb. You just you just ripped her to shreds.
We'll be back. All right, welcome back. Let's jump into Raw. We talked a lot about Rhea Ripley. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, she's in the ring with the.
Never mind. Okay. Keep going. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. So they're in the Judgment Day is in the ring, and Rhea says, the Judgment Day, we run Raw. That's been the harsh reality for the Mysterios. And, she goes, I proved to Dominik that I really am his poppy as I destroyed his soul. Finn Balor then takes the mic and he says, for everyone that loves the Mysterios, I got some sad news for you. The Mysterios won't be here tonight. And then he starts to shit talk Edge and he goes, Damian, let's hear, what you're going to do to Edge next week in Toronto. So Damian Priest says, what won't I do to Edge? He says, do you want to see the radar superstar right now? And he says, too bad because he's not here. He said, I heard what you said last week. I don't sweat you. He's talking to Edge. I don't need anyone to deal with you. That's when next week I put the final nail in your coffin in your career in Toronto. He says it will be man to man, no judgment day at ringside in their match next week. And Toronto, he says Toronto will be a place where Damian Priest sends Edge back into retirement. And he says, but this time retirement will be Beth feeding you through a tube. And that's when Rey Mysterio runs out to the ring and takes out the Judgment Day with a steel chair.
Ray gets in the. Why would you come up by yourself too? Like, oh my god.
Well, the bigger question is where's Dominik? So then Rhea gets in Ray's face, but then Ray takes out Judgment Day with the chair shots, and then Ray goes to hit one of the members with a chair. Rhea gets in his face, and then Rhea grabs the chair from Ray. Damian Priest attacks, and then Rhea Ripley nails a DDT to Rey Mysterio on the chair. Finn Balor then places the chair on the chest of Rey Mysterio and lands a coup de grace. Judgment Day again just annihilating Rey Mysterio and his family. Where the fuck is Dominik? And what's happening here? Is Dominik really that beat up that he can't show up for his dad? What are your thoughts?
Kill Dominik. I mean, remember they had that little segment backstage where Ray took Edge's side, so I mean maybe Dominik's pissed at Ray.
Could be.
I love how you're trying to make Dom look like he's a pussy. Because you just said, oh, I guess he got beat up. You really be shitting on Dominik, don't you?
Well, because I
don't think any of us would be able to take bumps from Rhea Ripley. Come on.
Yes, but if your dad is getting, I don't care who you are, you're going to save your father if you're there. If you're in the arena, and maybe not in that moment, okay. But even all backstage.
Right, so let's say, your dad's out there. He's getting beat up by fucking Finn Balor. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley out there.
My question is, why would I let my dad go out there alone to begin with? That's the question. What happened?
Because Ray's been a dick to Dominik past couple weeks.
I know, Carlos, but if you know your dad is going out there against 3 people. You're really going to just, even if he's been then that's I'm sorry. If I knew my dad was getting into trouble, my ass would get out there. I don't even get along really well with my dad. I would make sure that he wasn't walking into that trap that he walked into. Even if I did get beat up, that would make me even want to come out more. I want to fuck up Rhea Ripley. Like, why, and I get it's a heel turn. I'm happy to see that. But, and I like that they are doing it this way because it's hard not to like Dominik, right? Because his father is so legendary. I remember him when I was little. I like seeing him out there because, again, it reminds me of when he's little. So you have to find a way to dislike him and him not showing up. So that's my take on Dominik. I think you need to find a way to get the crowd to hate him. So I personally like the fact that he's not showing up. And you are a viewer too, Carlos, and your thought is, why would he help out Ray after Ray sided with Edge?
Yeah, so exactly.
I like that they're able to make
and remember he did walk off on his pops backstage. Mm-hmm. So like they have no idea where he is. Mm-hmm. I mean they saw him that week when Rhea Ripley dragged him out, but they don't know exactly. Who knows if they even had a conversation yet? Who knows? I mean, Ray was with him backstage, right? When he was getting tended to by the doctors.
Yep, we saw Ray with him backstage, and then they quickly, panned out. But yeah, I like that. There's 2 different takes on it, so I like that. But moving on, we have our first round match for the women's tag team titles. And we have the team of Asuka and Alexa Bliss taking on Nikki A.S.H and Doudrop. And the winners of this match will go on to Raw next week to take on the team of Dakota Kai and Io Sky. And before the match starts, the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair comes out to stand at ringside to support Bliss and Asuka. Here are some quick notes on the match. Alexa Bliss nails a cannonball off the apron to Nikki. Doudrop nails a running splash to Alexa Bliss in the corner outside. Asuka nails a flying dropkick to Doudrop and a bridging German suplex, which gets a 2. We see Dana Brooke and Tamina watching backstage after they were defeated by Dakota Kai and Io Sky last week. Doudrop nails a Michinoku driver to Asuka and gets a 2. Doudrop misses a Vader bomb and Asuka with a kick to Doudrop's head. Alexa Bliss nails a DDT and Asuka locks in an armbar and Doudrop taps. One thing I missed that I thought was cool in this match that I forgot to mention is both Bliss and Asuka nailed a double hit attack. I did have that in my notes. Yeah, they hit a double hit attack to both women outside, which Alexa Bliss said on the bump was the first time she ever performed that move. So Asuka and Bliss win after we see Io Sky, Bayley, and Dakota Kai on the stage. And they get in Bianca, Asuka, and Bliss's faces as they get ready for their match next week, the tag match, and then in 2 weeks.
Never mind. Sorry. I thought when you said tag match, I thought you meant like the 6-man tag is next week. I'm like, what?
No. The women's tag, yeah. But my thoughts for you, my question is, what did you think about the match? And do you think that this partnership between Bliss and Asuka is going to last long? Can they form a real good team?
I would like to say it's going to last long because I wouldn't like to see like another team break up so fast. But I feel like this is maybe like to maybe benefit Alexa Bliss a little bit, maybe to like bring her up the card a little bit, because I feel like eventually like she needs to go back to like getting a championship goal, because she is a main event contender, I feel.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss hasn't been champion for 5 years, a singles champion at least. So she definitely wants.
But hopefully, like this benefits her in the long run. So like eventually, like move her up the card a little bit. Maybe like having a match against Bianca. That's something we haven't seen before.
I mean, say that her eyes were on the women's side.
And whenever I don't know why, but I think about Alexa Bliss and Bianca, I always think about the Women's Royal Rumble match. I think it was 2019 when they started off, and they were like in there for like the longest fucking time. Like just like I think it was 2019. I don't remember, but I know it was like the first two were Bianca and Alexa Bliss, and then like they were in there for like long as hell. Like they were like the longest ones in that match. So whenever I think about that, I feel like they have really good chemistry together, those two.
I agree. We're gonna see what's gonna happen down the line. They will be together on the same side of the ring at Clash at the Council, though. But we see Theory backstage, and Theory says, "I am the handpicked future of this business." And Dolph Ziggler shows up, and Ziggler says, "You've been getting crushed out there every week." Ziggler says, "I've earned the Money in the Bank contract, which is why it mattered when I won the world title back in 2012. Or I think it was 2013. One of them." Anyways, Theory says, "I think you're on." Oh, he's like, "I think you're over the hill. You know, you're like a has-been." He says, "You're a non-title having loser." And then Dolph Ziggler headbutts Theory, and the two start to brawl. We go to a break, and we come back, and we see that the two of them were fighting during the break and had to be separated. So for weeks, we've seen Ziggler getting in Theory's business, and now they're fighting each other. What do you think of this rivalry?
Yeah, I feel like so it's going good so far. Hope this eventually maybe leads to like Austin Theory like putting his thing on the line, his Money in the Bank briefcase on the line against Dolph Ziggler. But I'm liking Theory more and more. He's I like how he's getting like all the heel heat, and like he really knows how to cut a promo and like get somebody like heated up.
Yeah, I like Theory too. Well, we'll find out what happens with those two later on. We then see the Miz and Ciampa backstage, and Ciampa says, "I came to Raw to become the U.S. champion." The Miz says, "The only reason why Ciampa isn't the champion is because of AJ Styles." He being the Miz, gives Ciampa a bedazzled VIP ticket, and he says, "We are awesome." So the Miz and Ciampa are now going to take on the newly formed team of Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. Here are some notes for this one. Ciampa kicks Cedric as he goes for a maneuver, and Ali nails a dropkick and a modified slam to the Miz. Miz goes for a roll-up, but Ali with a kick, and that gets a 2 count. And Ali goes for a 450 splash, but Ciampa nails a running knee to the face and a fairy tale ending. That running knee to Ciampa, or I'm sorry, to Ali as he was landing that 450 was insane. What do you think of this teaming of Miz and Ciampa? Do you think it's going to last long, or do you think Miz is going to turn on Ciampa? You think to always turn on the person?
I think they need to go solo because Ciampa, I think like he need like this whole like neon green fucking tights and stuff. I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
Like how the hell they have him dressing up? Like I don't know. I don't really like. I feel like Ciampa needs to go out on his own. Give his old theme song back. Freaking just like go. I think they're just holding on to like till they sign Johnny Gargano back. That like once they bring back Gargano, then like where we have CDIY again.
Yep. Sure. DIY. Yes. I can't wait. Well, we then go backstage again, and we see Drew McIntyre. He's gonna be, having some comments to make in the ring. But a little interesting detail: we see smoke coming from a trash can behind Drew McIntyre, and we see people in the background continue to try to put out the fire. Now, I have a theory that this is going to lead us to Clash at the Castle, and whoever is behind all this shit is going to be revealed then. What is your take on all these random things happening in the background with these backstage segments? They're not things that we've seen that we're used to.
I think it's all Dexter Lumis, but
Dexter Lumis.
But so did you already talk about the brawl between Dolph Ziggler and Austin Theory?
We talked a bit, about how the two of them were fighting backstage and then during the break.
Okay. So I forgot. I was like a little lost there, but I remember now. So like I think when we got back to the break, they were fighting backstage, and you could see a hand like outside the door. Like it was like a glove. It looked like a glove. I don't know. Maybe it was like Dexter Lumis trying to get back in. But like while they were fighting in the background, you could like there was like a door, and you could see like the screen like behind it, and you could see like a hand with like a glove on. So I right away thought it was Bray Wyatt, but then like I'm like, oh, it's probably Dexter Lumis. Like you just see a hand like waving in the background.
It was waving.
It was waving. You didn't see that?
No.
I know. Yeah, it was like a hand with a glove on. And it was like had some writing on it, but it was like waving while they were fighting, like while they were fighting backstage.
That happened. I want to try to see.
Oh, literally while they were fighting backstage, like you probably just didn't know because you were paying attention to Dolph Ziggler and Austin Theory like fighting.
Let me try to find it right now as you talk, because Carlos, I'm interested.
I'll send you the video. Hold on. But like while they were fighting, literally there was like a hand waving, and it could have been the Fiend. Who knows? But
let me see. Hang on, I'm pulling up the episode.
You know, hold on. I'm gonna send it to you now.
So it's during.
Where is it? I'm gonna send it to you now. Don't look for it. I'm gonna send it to you now. Where is it? It's on my TikTok.
We're all looking for it right now as we speak. Let me see.
Did you find it?
I'm looking. Hang on. See them come back.
I'll find it for you. Hold on. Stay there.
Stay there, you say. I'm not going nowhere, Carlos. We're in the middle of a podcast here, sir. Let me see.
Where is it? I'm gonna send it to you now. So look, check your messages.
Okay, let me see.
Check your message. I'm sending it to you right now.
I'm sending it. Carlos is really.
Like, and then give me, and then once I send it to you, give me your thoughts.
Okay, so he's.
I just sent it now.
I haven't seen this yet, so we'll see my.
I'm surprised you didn't notice this. I had to play it back. Twice just to like see, because I know that I know it's something in the corner, and then.
Here.
Did you get it?
Where's the hand? Oh. Yes, I see that.
Yeah, I noticed these little things. I swear, you gotta pay attention to the little things, Ant. Come on, Ant, you're slacking. That
was like some Where's Waldo shit. Holy. All right.
And,
So
and I was like, oh, Dexter Lumis breaking in, but it could have been somebody else too.
well, that's just getting us excited to see what is going to happen. Well, Drew McIntyre does come out, and McIntyre says, Washington, let me hear you scream. He says at Clash at the Castle, this match is taking place on my island, and I will drop you, win the titles, and defend them everywhere like it deserves to be. Drew says, I'm suffering from a back injury because I've been carrying the load of 20 men for 3 years. He says, being on Raw, I have to scout because I will become the new champion. You might see matches like Drew McIntyre versus Ciampa, matches like Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. And then with that, Kevin Owens comes out, and Kevin goes, I came out here, and now you decide to say that we will fight, that you'll use my name. Kevin says, I don't understand why you pretend to be something you're not. You think this is the medieval times. You're delusional if you think you've been carrying the weight. KO says, I've been the same person for 22 years, and I'm as real as it gets in this business. For the last couple of years, I've been having fun, but I realized this is the home. This is where at Battleground, Sami Zayn and I put on a match that people still talk about today. Kevin says, I miss the old KO. It's time to bring back the prize fighter. He says, I haven't held a title for 5 years. Enough is enough. It's time for a change. And that's what Owen Hart said back in the day. KO says, every champion is my target. And he says, I'm coming for the undisputed title. And Drew says, I'm sick of people making shit up for a cheap reaction. Drew says, I worked my ass off and beat everyone. Don't you dare look at me and say that bullshit again. He says, we're wrestlers in a wrestling ring, so why don't we wrestle? And KO agrees. That was a very, very intense and heated promo.
Yeah, probably one of the best promos I've heard in the past, long ass time.
So what did you think of that? Whose side were you on there?
It was kind of both. I was kind of both sided because I understood where Kevin Owens was coming from, but I also understood where Drew was coming from. I feel like this promo really built up Drew a lot because I told you this before we started. Ever since he lost the title, I thought I felt like Drew he kind of got stale to me. But after this Monday, the performance he put on, that promo that he did, he's definitely up there again.
Well, the two of them, Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre, have a match, and here are some notes from it. KO tosses Drew's shoulder into the post, and he nails a cannonball in the corner. KO nails a really cool springboard moonsault and gets a 2 count. Drew then nails a suplex, and KO drops Drew McIntyre to the outside and lands a frog splash off of the apron. Drew then nails a belly-to-belly, and KO nails a DDT, which gets a 2 count. KO goes for a swanton, but Drew gets his knees up. KO also then nails a frog splash, which then gets a 2. Drew nails a white noise from the second rope, which again gets a 2. Drew nails a Glasgow kiss, and KO nails a super kick. And then Drew nails a clothesline to Kevin Owens, and both men are down. A lot of good action there. There's a slugfest. Drew nails a future shock DDT to KO. That gets a 2. Drew goes for a Claymore, but the Usos attack Drew McIntyre, nail a super kick. However, Drew is able to toss out the Usos, but Kevin Owens nails Drew McIntyre with a stunner. KO then tells the Usos, tell the tribal chief he owes me one. And then the Usos attack Drew McIntyre, but then Drew McIntyre is able to clear the ring of the Usos and take out Jey Uso with the Claymore. Your winner by DQ, Drew McIntyre. So aside from the ending, that was a hell of a match. What is your take on the Usos interfering and that message KO sent to the tribal chief that Reigns owes him one?
I was kind of mad that the match ended that way. I hate when matches end in DQ, but I understand where Kevin now he took out Drew, so Roman does owe him one now. But I don't know what does he mean by that though.
And Roman doesn't take kindly when people call him out like that. So
I mean, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The only people he'll depend on is the wise man and the Usos. That's it.
Yeah, so we're gonna see here what ends up happening. But yeah,
where is the wise man, by the way? He's injured, right?
He's injured, yeah, after the F5 through the table.
Hopefully he's back this week. We'll see.
He's fine. He fucking did voiceover for Heat Wave.
Yeah.
um, but anyways, we come back and Seth friggin' Rollins comes out to the ring, and I'm not gonna. I had to. I watched it. He pretty much just shit talks Riddle, and just
And Riddle shows up on the Titantron. He's like, oh, you thought you thought you're gonna leave me out for some of like you were gonna take me out for good. It's like that he's medically cleared, and then
Seth saying like, I wish you were like you're at home or something, right?
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, I'm actually here, and then he runs out. Like, I love the running, by the way. They just keep like they you can't catch me if you can. And he just runs to the ring. Then music plays. He comes down. They start brawling outside the ring, and everyone. Seth Rollins is about to hit a curb stomp, but like Riddle moves out the way, and then I forgot what happened. He hit him with like a knee or something. That's when Seth ran away, like from Riddle, and then Riddle was just like standing in the ring, and then he was like, no. What happened was like they were about to fight up the stairs, like where the crowd is. Yeah. But then like Seth eventually like got away from them, and then like Riddle stopped like midway. I'm like, you could have just kept on chasing him all the way to the back, but yeah, he stopped like midway once Seth got already up the stairs.
And then he got away. Seth for Clash. Yeah, this is
backstage when we got back from the commercial.
I'm excited for this one. They were supposed to fight at SummerSlam. I'm glad the two of them are actually finally going to get their hands on each other at Clash.
Hopefully, but we already seen a match between them on Raw a couple of months ago, didn't we?
I know, but it's still, again, things are changing. Their characters are changing. Riddle is a lot more vicious now. You know, he has more to gain in this match.
Since Randy's been gone.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this one. This one didn't excite me. Veer Mahan just destroys a jobber.
We haven't seen him in a very long time, though.
He's very good in the ring, I will say. He's very fast. I just didn't really. After he fucked up Keith Lee's title win, I don't really care about him. Remember when Keith Lee won the NXT title and Veer Mahan and his partner like tweeted out the picture of him winning. So before the show, everybody knew that Keith Lee had won the title. Remember that?
Oh my God!
We had covered that. Remember?
I don't remember that, but like that's kind of petty. How are you gonna be mad because of that?
Well, they got suspended because of it. Like it was the first time Keith Lee had ever won a title, and they were making a big deal. It was their big Great American Bash show that they were having, and they knew like 2 weeks before the fucking show that Keith Lee was gonna win because they. So people were like, fans were upset because they felt like that Keith Lee didn't get the moment of surprise reaction when he won, except for the crowd. But anyways, I mean, Veer Mahan's good in the ring, but he destroys people. I like to see him versus Lashley. Right. We then see Lashley backstage. He's getting prepared for his match. And then we see Adam Pearce talking to security, which we'll see why later on. We see Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai confront Dana Brooke backstage. And Dakota Kai tells Dana Brooke that she should be afraid for their match tonight. I call this group of Bayley, Io, and Dakota Control because they always talk about it.
Yeah, they've been saying like kind of Control every time they talk about them.
Yeah, so that's just sort of my way of talking about them. But I do like seeing them just bullying people. We think in our next title match, I think it's the only title match tonight. The U.S. Championship is on the line. U.S. Champion Bobby Lashley defending against the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. This is the first time the two have met in a WWE ring. And here are some quick notes. AJ nails a drop kick, and then a forearm off the apron to Bobby Lashley outside. Lashley then hits a spine buster, and he sends AJ face first into the ring post. We then see Ciampa and The Miz walk out to the ring. And then Lashley suplexes AJ into the ropes and sends him off the apron to outside. And that's when things get weird. Dexter Lumis jumps the barricade and just sort of like, was he trying to go after the announcers, or did the security like drop him in the announcers area? He got pushed.
It seems like he was trying like get into the ring, but like then like the announcers got in the way, and like then the security was able to like go after him. And that's when.
And so he gets taken
I
out.
know like Corey fell to the ground or something. Like somebody fell to the ground. They're like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And then
And then they come back. And I liked how they played up, like, don't talk about him, he doesn't deserve it. I like the fact that they're making it like he's coming in as a surprise. So we go back to the action, and AJ dives onto Bobby Lashley outside with a forearm. Lashley lands a power slam. AJ is able to nail a torture rack bomb and gets a two. AJ applies a calf crusher, and then Bobby's able to counter to a hurt lock, which was really cool. AJ misses a phenomenal forearm, and Lashley nails a spear and gets the win, and he retains the title. What did you think of this match?
The match was great. I feel like it should have been the main event of the show instead of Ziggler versus Theory. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed the match, and I like how they keep adding Dexter Lumis to this. I feel like he's definitely trying to go after AJ Styles though.
I wonder why though. I hope that they give like a like some kind of reasoning for it. But people are saying too that this is really random speculation, but in NXT, the way was the group of Johnny Gargano, Austin Theory, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, and then Dexter Lumis ended up falling in love with Indy. So people are claiming that they're trying to make it so Dexter is trying to help out Theory, like hold on to the briefcase. Doesn't make sense why he's attacking AJ, but that's a theory that people are throwing out there. No pun intended. But we'll have to wait and see what Dexter Lumis's goal is by doing this. We then get our next match, the 24/7 champion Dana Brooke.
But before we continue, yeah. It's gonna be like hard to like understand where like because he doesn't speak.
Because why?
In NXT, like Dexter Lumis never really spoke. Like he was always like so quiet. Like how are we got like an explanation from that man? You know? Like he never really spoke. Like he was always like just
to do something, or maybe he'll be part of a bigger group, and maybe
that's like another theory I had to my that just popped in my head now, literally. Like I remember in NXT he never spoke. He just like would go down to the like crawl to the ring like with his eyes and like he never really like spoke on the mic or anything.
For all we know, he's doing this for somebody else. Maybe it's Austin Theory that's like, hey, I'll help you if you help me. I don't know why he would go out.
Oh, but how is he helping Theory though if he's interfering in Styles' matches?
Well, that's what I said. It doesn't make sense. But I just think that there's going to have to be some explanation for this. Right now we're not going to know. Right now it's going to be Dexter Lumis is crazy, but I'm hoping that there's more to it than Dexter just crazy and fighting AJ. I want
my own thing is like Dexter needs a mouthpiece if he because I never really hear him speak before. Like he's always been like so quiet. So like
the thing that's annoying is when NXT sort of like changed to 2.0, his character kind of became more comical. He was in love with Indy Hartwell. They went on a honeymoon. They got married. They were on the beach. Like
I remember that.
So for me, it's like it's good that they're doing this because he looks more scary and at least doing it like this than him running along the beach with Indy. I don't know. I really don't know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Dexter. Next, we have like I said, the 24/7 champion Dana Brooke. She's gonna be taking on Dakota Kai with Bayley and Io Sky. Dakota nails a running kick in the corner. Dana nails a short arm clothesline and then a cartwheel elbow in the corner, but Kai is quickly able to get the win after a running boot in the corner and a 3 count. What did you think of that match? It was pretty quick.
It was good. I enjoyed it. One thing though, I feel like do you think that they're trying to scrap out the whole 24/7 title?
I think unless my take on it is I feel like it's been it's been on since like what 2017.
It's like she's still running around with it, but like it's
They're
like
not doing anything with it,
yeah, exactly. That's like so many things are going in my head right now. Like
I feel like they're probably
like Triple H is trying to get rid of it, like slowly but surely get rid of it.
Either get rid of it or make it a different. Like they're gonna have to change it because even when the hardcore title was 24/7, that gimmick can only last for so long and people get tired of it. It's funny seeing them fight in different areas. It's funny, the different shenanigans, all that stuff. But there comes a point where it's like, okay, what else? If they made it where it mattered more, I could see. I just feel like there was just way too many people winning it. It just like, I don't know. We're in a transition, so we'll see what happens. But I do agree with you. I do think he's trying to phase it out a little bit. Maybe go back to the hardcore title. Maybe make a European title. I know they have all these titles already, but the roster just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You could always have more mid-card champions, but
where's our truth at?
R-Truth, I don't know. Good question. I haven't seen R-Truth in a while.
It's always good to see him on TV.
He's
like huh?
I said, what's up?
What's up? What's up?
My favorite is when he got injured by Nia Jax. I still crack up at that.
Oh my god. He had so many great moments in his career. My favorite is like when he came out during the tournament thing for the WWE Championship, and then he was saying, "I wish you good luck. I don't wish y'all good luck." And he walked off because he thought it was in the tournament.
Carlos, you can deal with this, and you can deal with that. You better deal with this because this is where it's at. What's up?
What's up?
All right. So speaking of what's up next week, we know that on Raw, Damian Priest will take on Edge in Edge's hometown of Toronto. Damian Priest promises to send Edge packing to retirement. And then we have our semifinals match in the Women's Tag Titles Tournament. Alexa Bliss and Asuka are going to get their hands on Dakota Kai and Io Sky ahead of Clash at the Castle. But that's next week. Tonight, we're going to end our episode with the main event. Dolph Ziggler taking on Mr. Money in the Bank Theory. And here are some notes of this main event. Ziggler nails the DDT. He ends up tossing Theory into the ring post. Ziggler lands a top rope X Factor off the top rope, which kind of botched and ended up hurting his leg. Theory then nails a drop kick through the ropes. It gets a 2 count. Ziggler nails.
I love that move. I love that move that he does, by the way.
Yeah, it's really cool.
He jumps through the ropes and missile drop kick. I'm telling you, he's a great athlete, man.
Oh yeah, I'm a big.
Theory's a future, definitely. He like every match that he does, he always adds a new move to his moveset, and I love it.
Theory rocks. So then Ziggler nails a clothesline and a neck breaker, which gets a 2 count. Theory then nails a swinging sit-out powerbomb, which gets a 2. Ziggler with a famouser, which then gets a 2 count. Ziggler nails a zigzag, again a 2. Back and forth action. And then Theory is able to get the win with an 8-count down. Surprising main event. It was a good match, but I think we talked about this earlier that maybe you said that Styles maybe should have went with that match should have been the ending. Based on the fact that.
But I see why maybe they didn't have it at the main event because they didn't want Raw to end the same way as last week with Dexter Lumis being the highlight. You know?
True. Yeah. But I just feel for me, I kept waiting for something to happen. I was waiting for someone new to come out. I was waiting, and then I was just oh, they're just ending it with this match, and this is the end of it. Okay. So yeah, I mean that's it for Raw. What do you want? Let me ask you, what was your favorite moment from tonight's episode?
I enjoyed the whole Riddle and Seth Rollins stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they're gonna fucking tear the house down at Clash at the Castle. I'm excited for that. Yeah. For me, again,
it's kind of personal too because this involves kind of the Becky situation. I don't want to add that in there, but I feel like it's kind of personal too.
Well,
I feel some of those jabs that some of the punches that are gonna be felt in there are gonna be personal.
You better watch what he says about my lady Becky, otherwise we're liars.
You got to root for Rollins now. For this match, you have to root for Rollins. 100%.
Riddle better not mess with the Italian Don. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my favorite moment though was the whole Dexter Lumis. Again, that whole element of surprise factor. It's bringing me back to the old days, and I'm really enjoying it. But let me, before we go, give a quick rundown of where you can find us. We are the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. We are available wherever podcasts are streaming. So that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Amazon Music, Castbox, wherever podcasts are available, we are streaming. Also, we have our new show premiering tonight, No Holds Barred. It's going to be a no holds barred discussion on all things WWE, and let the kids go home. This is not for kids. There's going to be uncensored. We're going to be swearing. It's going to be fun. We're also going to have our first ever draft. Carlos and I are going to pick 15 wrestlers.
I already got my set.
Well, you got to remember, Carlos, though, here are the rules, and we'll describe it, though, too. I might, based on the, we're going to do like a whole sort of coin flip, something like that. And whoever wins, that will be the order. So, Carlos, I might pick one of your people, and you're going to have to change it up, or you might pick one of my people. I might have to change it up. So,
who says we have to switch? What if I chose him first?
Well, that's what it means. Yeah, let's say for example, just so everyone understands the rules. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, Carlos, you go first, and I'm number 2. Let's say in your list, your number 1 person is The Rock, and my list is The Rock. If you win the coin toss and you say I'm drafting The Rock, obviously The Rock can't be my number 1 because you were.
So wait, if I go first. So wait, what do you mean? What do you mean the coin toss?
So what's going to happen is we're going to call heads or tails, and you'll see it. I'll do it so you can see it. And
you're gonna throw the coin?
No, I'm going to do it on the phone. Carlos, holy cannoli. It's like a whole freaking instruction manual.
You don't explain these things.
I'm going to take my phone. I'm going to say, Siri, flip a coin. You're going to call heads or tails. If it is heads, then you are first. If it is tails, then I am first. And then we just go back and forth in that order.
Okay.
And then so basically you can't pick the same number 1. If you already got The Rock, he's already drafted.
Okay. All right. So,
Get it?
So let's say let me give you an example. So we start. You're gonna first do the coin toss, heads or tails, and then I'll be like heads, you say tails. If it lands on heads, I go first. If it goes on tails, you go first.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got it.
All right. So we have that coming up. You can already tell it's gonna get crazy. So we have that coming up. Carlos is going to be doing some trivia. We're going to be talking about our uncensored thoughts on the current state of WWE, giving our thoughts on everything that's happening that you might not hear on our regular podcast. So check that out. I also want to say that tomorrow we have our special Attitude Years episode dropping. That is episode 25, if I am correct. That will be dropping tomorrow, Thursday, August 18th. And then we have SmackDown coming next week as well. We got a lot coming up. So stay tuned, be safe, and Carlos, any last words?
Take care, guys, and next podcast, here we go.
There we go. All right. Talk to you all soon. Bye.